Greetings everybody, RetroIndieGamer here with my next installment of Plug and Play overviews, this time with my Spider-Man Plug and Play. Now as you can see, I'm dressed very casual with my Spider-Man shirt. As you can probably tell, Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes. And one of the superheroes who, at least he used to, some of the best Lucky Returns licensed games. I'm not sure about some of the later ones, but, well, I might get into that another time, but in like the mid 2000s or something, there were some really good Spider-Man games. I mean, heck, the Spider-Man 2 game is one of my favorite video games of all time. Now this Plug and Play is from that same time period, and, well, how's this fare? Let us dive in and find out. The first thing to note is that this, like the Star Wars and Atari Plug and Plays I covered earlier, is part of Jakk Pacific's TV game series. Now that sends mixed messages for me, since the Atari one is really good and the Star Wars one is okay. Now there are 5 games on the collection: Streets of the City, Spider Training, Venom's Vindication, Escape from the Sewers, and Vulture's Venture. Not exactly a huge selection, but more than enough for there to possibly be a few good ones. In the first game, Streets of the City, you play as Spidey as he goes through various stages, dealing with many of the classic Spider-Man villains with different kinds of stages for each villain. For instance, the first 2 stages involve sitting around and being a bug to collect bags of money, dealing with the Oath Rhino in the 3rd stage. And perhaps one of the easiest boss fights I've ever seen, since you can beat him and avoid damage simply by jumping over him and letting him run into a wall. In the next section, you scale a few buildings and deactivate bombs placed throughout it, while avoiding bugs in the windows, eventually fighting against Scorpion, then shutting down amps to deal with Electro, and so on. A fun game, but man is it hard! Now for some reason, Scorpion's section reminds me a lot of the Spider-Man game on the Atari 2600, probably because both involve scaling a building and bombs. The next game, Spider Training, is basically a Spider-Man shooting gallery where you are trying to get villains like Doc Ock, Sandman, Kraven, Venom, and Green Goblin with webs, while avoiding good characters like Mary Jane, Aunt May, Black Cat, and Gwen Stacy. You lose a life when you hit a good character, or run out of time, and you only get 3 lives, like the other games in this collection. The next game, Venom's Vindication, involves having to web up the areas between windows to keep Venom from dropping bombs onto the ground, while at the same time having to punch thugs. It's a pretty fun game, and for some reason the thing about having to catch bombs before they fall reminds me a lot of Kaboom, as that game also involves someone dropping bombs that have to be caught before they reach the ground. After that is Escape from the Sewers, a game designed like one of those old 3D maze games where you move around in the first person. The goal in each level is to walk around the maze and find and defuse bombs placed throughout it. As you try to do so, you must also keep a vigilant look in case the lizard turns out to be around the corner. And in that case, you must shoot him with your webs before he can slash at you. Just like in so many other games, you have 3 lives before the game ends. The final game, Vulture's Venture, features everybody's favorite flying gold geezer as he has Spider-Man tied to a beam at a construction site, and you must shoot down the missiles shot at you, as well as the occasional bomb sent from Vulture before the sides of the beams are destroyed, and you come crashing down. Just like the other game, if this happens 3 times, the game is over. This game is pretty fun though, probably because I find that it basically plays like an upside-down missile command, and I can never say no to that. Now, after looking at all games in this Plug and Play, I think it's safe to say that this one actually has a few fun games, ignoring things like the fact that they decided to do certain things, like recycling the same dying sound effect in every single game. Now, would I recommend getting this? Probably not. Now, if you find it at like a garage sale or something, feel free to pick it up. You might have a lot of fun with it. I mean, I sure have over the years. And well, I think that's about all I could have to say about the Spider-Man Plug and Play. Next up will be the Pac-Man Plug and Play. This one should be a lot of fun. Well, because Pac-Man is fun. Now, if you like this video, feel free to like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter for more updates on videos and streams. Well, until next time, everybody.